What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Yankees Avenue Show on the Yankees Avenue YouTube channel. As usual, I'm Patrick Hennessy. That's Dan Rourke. Dan, how are we doing on this very marvelous day?
I'm doing fine, Patrick. I wouldn't call it a marvelous day. It's an all right day. Listen, we're recording this after what? Why is it a marvelous day? Is there
Dude,
something I'm
every
forgetting?
morning you wake up and the sun is shining.
Oh,
There might be a
save
little
me
bit
the
of smog,
speech. Save me
bro.
the speech. I lean optimistic in terms of life, but the Yankees just lost 2 out of 3 to the White Sox. Aaron Judge is on the IL. Shit's not amazing, but also it certainly still isn't doomsday, Pat. So I don't want to put too much negative vibes out there. I'm just not pleased about losing 2 out of 3 to the Sox. All right. How are you
Yeah,
doing though?
no one should be, but yo, I'm still doing good. I'm waking up every morning. I'm breathing that fresh, crisp
Yeah.
air, and I'm
Well, it's
feeling good
eleven
about life.
sixteen a night. Fresh, crisp air. Are you crazy, bro? What fresh, crisp air have you been breathing? Although I will say it definitely was better today. And I assume this is all kind of in the past. But yo, when this shit first went down, like especially Wednesday when things was real crazy,
Yeah, it was weird.
it was nuts.
No,
Like
it was weird.
I
But
didn't leave the
yeah,
house. I did not leave the house, Pat, really. I just
were
stayed
you
inside.
scared?
Not scared, but I'll say this. They kept saying 3 hours outside is the equivalent of smoking a pack of cigarettes. Part of me wanted to just buy a pack of cigarettes because, like, if I'm gonna smoke a pack of cigarettes, I'm gonna smoke a pack of cigarettes. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what they're saying it was equivalent of. You know that, right?
Sure, yeah. Okay, cool. Before we get into the show, we have a lot of fun fun topics to
Topics. What
talk
accent
about
is that,
today.
Pat? Topics. Is that like Australian?
But before we
Shit.
do that, want to give a huge shout out to our sponsor, FOCO. Use code Yankees Avenue. Save 15% off your order. Dan, that robe is sexy as hell,
Bro,
man.
you wouldn't stop talking about it ahead of the
No, it
show.
looks great.
And honestly, I ain't gonna lie, and this is of course from Foco. Guys, it makes you look a little like bougie
You look
almost.
dapper. You look
Yeah,
dapper.
thank you. So shout out Foco. We'll talk about it a little more later, but yeah.
Yo, I think we need to address the elephant in the room with topic number one, Dan. We talked about it last episode. You talked to a doctor about it.
I did.
Um, Aaron Judge is on the IL with a right big toe contusion slash sprain. It looks like best case scenario, at least what the doctor told you, right? We're looking at 3 weeks. That's best case scenario.
Yeah.
And then worst case scenario, I guess we could be looking at like potential
Let's leave it a
6
best
weeks.
case though. Best case,
Sure.
3 weeks. I figure rest of the month we're without Judge.
Sure. Worst case scenario though, maybe end of July. But all I'm saying though is I'm looking at this injury to Judge, and it really sucks, right? Because when he came back, the main thing that we said was that the Yankees need a healthy Aaron Judge the rest of the way through. Not only like for his own like statistical numbers that make us feel happy, like a race to 60 again, or just historical numbers from him, but also just to keep the Yankees in the divisional race, right? Because now I'm looking at the AL East, and I think it's 10,000 times harder to overcome that obstacle without having Aaron Judge in the lineup every day, right? Because now we're looking at a starting outfield that's like IKF, Willie Calhoun, Jake Bowers, Billy McKinney. And without Judge in there, it changes the dynamic entirely. And it just sucks, dude. It's not doomsday. It's not the end of the world. It could be worse. But also at the same time, I think we have to look at the bigger picture here and be like, in the long run, like sure the Yankees still might make the postseason, but this still sucks, dude. Like you can't look at it with a positive lens right now. At least I can't anyway.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what you said. Only thing, I mean, the personal stats, some others have mentioned that too. 2022 has kind of like changed this for me because the fact that he was able to have that season, like he was able to prove he was able to hit 62 home runs, break the record, this and all that. That itch was satisfied for me. So in terms of his personal statistics, I'm not really like it doesn't bother me as much as it would have like a few years ago when he got hurt. But yeah, dude, I'm looking at the AL East standings now. We're 8.5 back of the Rays, and I've been pretty hot the last couple of weeks saying we're gonna catch him. We're gonna catch him. I think I even said by this point next month we'll be in first place. With Judge out now, that of course changes things. I mean, it's a no brainer. A lot of people put up the stats, how they play with Judge and without him. They're below 500 this year in games. I think it's like they're like 9-14 without Aaron Judge. So I mean, it just sucks, dude. There's really not much else for me to say about it. I do want to say though, I don't want it to be put out there that we should just stay afloat, play 500 till he comes back. Like, no, you still have to win games. I think I mentioned the
Agreed.
last episode. I'll say it again. Like, you got to get through this month going like 15-10, at least 5 games over. Like, you're not some little sisters of the poor or anything like that. Like, no, there's still names on this team. Giancarlo Stanton, he has to step up. Josh Donaldson, he has to step up. Anthony Rizzo, Gleyber Torres. I mean, 2 of the 4 guys have actually looked pretty solid. But point is, like, yeah, our main players, Aaron Judge and with Adam, were totally different. But it doesn't mean all of a sudden we're the Oakland Athletics. Like, no, this is still a representable baseball team that should win games. And I'll say this about the lineup. People were tweaking about that lineup in game one when it was put out. Mostly, I think, because Willie Calhoun was leading off, and it definitely was a funky one. There's still names in there that can get the job done, particularly because there's still names in there that can hit home runs. And when you have that, when you can run into one, like, you're still capable of winning games.
Yes, like there are guys in there who have the potential to carry the lineup if need be, but it's also like we can't look at the Yankees lineup, at least in game one of the doubleheader specifically, and being like, that's a good lineup that we think can go out there and win games
I
on
don't
a
think it's
consistent
terrible.
basis.
I truly do. I think it's
On
a
a scale of
solid
1 to 10,
lineup. It's a
I'm
winnable
putting
lineup.
at like a 4 or 5.
I would still put it at like a 6, and then Judge when he's in there elevates like an 8.5, 9. I would say it's not
Yeah, I
one
mean, I
I'm looking
disagree, but
forward to watch, but it's one that can win games, especially because when Stanton does get hot, he's might as well be as good as Judge in terms of offensively. The real issue is, and we'll get to this. I won't go too much into it, but like Gleyber and Rizzo, Gleyber went deep in tonight in game 2. That's nice, but like they got to pick it up. They really, really do.
yeah, one last thing I do want to say about the Judge injury, and I think we touched on it last episode too when we were kind of like still waiting on the diagnosis, but just the way Judge is handling this, and I guess Boone as well, it's just very, very ominous, dude. Like usually the Yankees with injuries, it seems like everything's very sugar coated and there's a very positive outlook, and we always seem to be getting let down. And I feel like they're taking the complete opposite approach with this one. I'm not sure if you saw Judge's quote from today, but he was asked about his timetable. He said there's no timetable really, which I think is best, because there's a couple things going on in there. So I think they don't want to say a timetable and then it be a couple weeks longer, a couple weeks less. I think it's more based on how it's feeling, which I get, bro. But just everything that we're hearing from Judge, it just feels like he sounds defeated. And he
Yeah,
might not be, I don't know, but it sounds like he's just like, damn, bro, like he's kind of in like the coping stage of the injury. But one thing that I did see as well was like Aaron Boone apparently got like chippy with the media when they were constantly asking him about like why is there such a lack of a timetable, which bro, I completely understand why the
yeah.
media would be like, yo, why is there no
Oh,
timetable for this injury, but
I
I
get why
don't
Boone would be chapped, and like with
I
Judge
don't
too.
though.
It's I
I,
do. I mean, he's frustrated. It sucks. Like he gets why they keep asking the question. I'm sure, but if I kept being asked about it in a situation I'm pissed off about, I'm sure I might get a little bit snippy back because I'm pissed about it. It sucks. But I think
sure, but
both
like
both of them are kind of defeated on it,
but it's also like his job to answer those
which
questions.
he still is. He's still answering it. I don't mind when Boone gets chippy. He doesn't have to be a robot. Like they gave him his answer still, or he gave them their answer. He just had a little attitude with it, and
I
I
guess,
think
but
that's fine.
regardless, I think we could both agree. Like, it seems like the way the Yankees are handling this injury with the media is a lot different than what we've seen with past injuries.
Yeah, I mean, just in terms of they don't want to give a direct timetable, which makes sense. I mean, I'm just gonna go off mine though. Best case scenario, 3 weeks, get through June. We'll be all right by 4th of July, Pat. Actually, that's like my be back by 4th of July, and we'll
I like
chill.
that. I like
Yeah.
that. Yo, let's get into topic number two. Dan, game one of the doubleheader on Thursday, Luis Severino took the mound for the first time since his big Dodger implosion, which was terrible. But he had another very disappointing outing. I think he went 5 innings, gave up what, five earned runs, maybe. He gave up 3 home runs. Do you have the box pulled up?
5 innings, 4 earned.
5 innings, 4 earned runs.
Yeah.
I mean, not
Three
the
home runs
worst.
is bad.
Yeah, I mean, not the worst start, but it's still very disappointing from Severino, especially when we're kind of leaning on him right now to be the Yankees' number two. With Cortez out, Rodon still out. Who knows when he's coming back? But what we've seen from Luis Severino has been disappointing to say the least. And I'm gonna be honest, he was a guy who we kind of needed to come back and just be electric from day one. Especially, bro, it's a contract year for him. And he's also a guy where at least I view him anyway as having zero future with the Yankees organization. Like I can't see a scenario where he gets a contract extension at the end of the year. But I think I am genuinely concerned about Luis Severino, especially because like you look at the stuff and the stuff just doesn't seem to be there. His velocity's down as well. Are you concerned? Because I am.
Uh well, the velocity doesn't concern me all that much now because I mean he was still pretty much sitting 95 and he did get it up to 98. And I think he had one swing and a miss on a fastball today. I think at a 28 thrown. That one he did get up to like 98. So he still can kind of dial it up there. But yeah, dude, the stuff in general, I feel like doesn't look all that great. I mean, especially with two strikes, he just doesn't seem to really have a put away pitch.
Yeah.
Yo, I couldn't even tell the difference between his cutter and his slider today. I mean, the drop on his cutter doesn't even look like a cutter. I don't even know. I mean, changeup two looked a little bit funky. I give him the slight benefit of the doubt, though, and Paul O'Neill mentioned this on the broadcast today, that this is still technically his spring training, and he's got to work through some things. But with that said, it can't go on for too much longer. I mean, you're now 4 starts in. That's kind of the equivalent of what you'd have in the spring, 20 innings pitched. Now it's time to lock it in a little bit. Like you said, Sevy was expected to be the number 2. And now with Nestor out, him going on IL, shit, dude, our starting rotation really is in bad shape. Fortunately, Rodon is, facing live hitters. He's starting to get up there a little bit in the pitch count. He might be coming back probably our same timeline of the All-Star break, maybe, but getting him back will be huge. Bottom line, though, is like we need Luis Severino to be good. Because if not, you're very quickly getting to a point where, all right, how good actually is our rotation going to be? Because let's just say healthy, the goal is still you have a Cole, Rodon, Sevy, Nestor, and then whoever your 5th is, whether it's Herman, Montas comes back, whatever. But that's your 4. How many of those starters right now are you truly banking on? I mean, Cole, obviously. Nestor's been shaky, has the injury. Sevy's been shaky coming off an injury. You don't know exactly what Rodon's going to be. So, like, if you were to be pessimistic about the rotation, I could forgive you.
Yeah. And I think the way I'm looking at it right now is I'm pessimistic about the rotation outside of Cole. Domingo, bro, Domingo's been great.
I think he's a
I think
beast.
also like looking at the struggles of Sevy, it makes you appreciate what Domingo's doing that much more because he's really like the only other consistent, reliable arm we have if he's not using sticky stuff or anything. But and then Randy Vasquez, I want to give a huge shout out to Randy Vasquez because in the 2 starts that we've seen from him at the big league level, I'm way more impressed with him than what we saw from Johnny Brito. And I think that he could maybe find like a spot in that number 5 hole. If the Yankees keep having the starting pitching injuries, I think I'd like to see a little bit more of Vasquez. Because I think that there's definitely potential there. And I think that he could be like a solid back of the rotation arm.
Yeah, I thought he looked great. I think we should also keep in mind that through 2 starts, Brito looked probably just as good, if not better, than Vasquez. But
Maybe
yeah, I'd say for sure. I mean, I liked him. I think he looks solid, and especially the fact of he's coming straight up from, well, was he in
double A, I
AAA or
think.
double A? I think double A,
I think he
right?
was in double A, yeah.
Yeah, which is impressive. And they also were mentioning how I guess he got rocked in his last start and then comes up to the big leagues and throws 5 2/3 shutout. I mean, he looked great both times out.
Yeah,
And
and
yeah, man, I mean, especially for a spot we're in right now. Shout out to Max Manis. He tweeted this out earlier, but I think we're actually going to be able to get through mostly the month of June just using 4 starters. So I'm not sure the next time that'll pitch. But a big conversation we had going into this year is the depth of the starting rotation, and that it was crazy that the next man up seemed to be Johnny Brito, and then you have Randy Vasquez. But knowing you have Vasquez is now feels pretty good because, like you said, I mean,
yeah.
he could, like, he's a nice 6th or 7th starter right now. And also for the future, you see a guy that, like, I wouldn't mind seeing him, maybe get a couple cracks of the rotation next year, and then we'll see kind of like where it goes from there.
Yeah, 1000%. Yo, before we get into topic number 3, want to give a huge shout out once again to our
Yeah.
sponsor, FOCO. Use code Yankees Avenue at checkout, save 15% off your
I want
order.
to show
Dan,
something else off too, real quick, bro, because I wear these shorts. I'm sorry, did I cut you off or can
no,
I
I
show
was
the
gonna say for
shorts?
this ad read, I think like you should really just be like the model for this one because bro, you got the
Okay.
robe, you got the shorts, like just show it
Bro,
all off.
for real. So you guys to see my robe, but I want to say these shorts, dude. I wear them probably every day. It's actually a problem. I should throw them in the wash sometime. But dude, I like a simple logo. Look at the simplicity of that right there, dude. I walk around
Yeah,
town, do my little. I'm going on these like walk runs lately. Where I run a block, walk 9, run a block, walk 9, whatever.
sure.
And I'm doing it in my gray shorts with the Yankee logo, and I feel kind of slick. I feel kind of badass. And the point is, Pat, if you want to feel slick, if you want to feel badass, you want to feel cool, you want to look cool, go get yourself something in Foco. Because I'd say I look pretty cool right now. Huh?
Yeah, I mean you probably smell pretty bad though.
No, I know, dude. You could, for those who can't tell, I haven't showered. Well, no, I did, but then I went to the gym at like 1 o'clock and sat through 2 games of screaming at the TV. I definitely do smell a little right now, but that doesn't matter on camera because all you can do is see. And what you're seeing right now is an outfit that looks pretty clean. And it's not just outfit, Pat. What else do they got?
What?
I said it's not just outfits, as in it's not just apparel. What else do they got?
Bobbleheads?
Bobbleheads.
Oh, was that a transition
Wall
into the
art.
Judge
Yeah, I
bobblehead?
tried. Maybe any bobblehead because they got a lot of them.
Yeah.
But wall art, decor,
They got it all.
They also, I mean, if we get another apocalypse of dust outside, they
They
sell
do have
masks
masks.
still, you know?
They do it, Brent, and they're all on sale. So yeah, FOCO code Yankees Avenue checkout, save 15% off your order. But let's get into topic
Yes.
number 3 here. And this is kind of a fun one. I feel like we haven't played like these games in a while, but Dan, we're playing a game. I need you to name one player who needs to step it up for the rest of the month of June.
All right. Well, I'm actually just going to switch it up real quick a little bit because I was going to go with Gleyber Torres. The fact that
Don't
he
steal mine.
homered and, well, dude, we're probably going to go the same one here. You're going to do DJ LeMahieu, aren't you?
No.
Oh, bet. Well, I'm going DJ
Great.
LeMahieu. Okay. What? Sure. Okay.
No, yeah, it's great.
OPS is down to 687, batting average at 234. But what is most crazy to me is that he's fallen in such a pretty much a month-long slump now that 55 games into the season, his OBP on the season, not just in the last month, on the season is at 299. DJ LeMahieu is becoming a problem. And that is something that you better not even think you should take any sort of pride in this. And I
No,
don't
no,
mean
there's
that as a
no
joke.
pride.
No, you shouldn't
No,
because
there's
you
no pride at
DJ had
all.
an 800 OPS and was batting 350 with runners in scoring position when you said that. You just cursed him. So if you're happy about that, congratulations. But regardless, DJ is a problem right now, and we just got to figure out what's going on because I'm starting to see the ground outs at third base. And what do we know about DJ? When he's not right, he grounds out to third base. So it's an issue, dude. And he's gonna keep playing, I assume, as he should. Like it's not like I'm not giving up on DJ, but if he doesn't figure it out soon, do we entertain the conversation of like, barring Donaldson continuing to be great, good? Do we have to entertain the conversation of getting third base at the deadline,
Yeah.
or do you call it Peraza?
DJ is a
It's
problem for sure. And I'm not like taking pride in the fact that like I called it, but
you
like
didn't call anything.
no,
You
but
were wrong, and then now you're technically not even right, but that's what it
no,
would
but this
be.
is what I felt like DJ has been. Like I feel like it was kind of just like luck for the first month of the season, dude.
If DJ were the DJ that you called bad, the Yankees would be in a fantastic spot right now.
Okay,
He was
but
great.
regardless of what I said, like I just I'm very concerned about DJ LeMahieu.
Yes.
Just because it's like we haven't necessarily seen like a great version of DJ consistently in years now. And I think that we might not ever see him again. I think the best case scenario for DJ moving forward is like a 750 OPS, and I think we'd have to be satisfied with that. It sucks, but yeah, he definitely needs to pick it up. If he doesn't pick it up for the rest of the month of June, we're gonna start to have to like seriously question like
How do you explain last year, though? I mean,
last year was
before the toe
okay.
injury, like you had the 800 OPS until the toe injury, and then yeah, he was terrible after that. Like, do you think that toe permanently affected him, or he's just getting older? Because remember, if DJ was like speaking of good DJ, like that DJ we had last year, 4 months in was great,
He
was
was good.
awesome,
He was good.
and then the toe happened. Like, I just wonder if like, I mean,
Well,
shit,
there's no
dude.
way that's still lingering, right? Like,
Hey, that doctor I speak to yesterday, Dr. Morse, in terms of the judge one, he did say it's something that could linger, and like, shit's
okay.
weird like that, dude. I don't know. And he's
Well,
34
then
years
he shouldn't
old.
be playing
He
and
looks
wasting a roster
What's
spot.
scary about it is that he does look slow. Like he looks almost like a slug out there when he's swinging. Like, you know what I mean?
No, I know.
It's not just the results aren't there. It's like the swing looks very long. He looks like 2021 DJ, which, the excuse for that one was he had like a sports hernia, had something
Yeah,
else
no,
going
I know.
on, and then last year with a toe. But all that we know is that he's technically healthy right now. Which, if that's the case, like, I almost want him to not be healthy to explain for it. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
and also like I'd like for that roster spot to be freed up and not just being wasted if he's hurt. You know what I mean?
If he's hurt,
But
yeah, then yeah.
you want to know who mine is? My one player who needs to step it up this month. And I think this one's kind of obvious. But it's Anthony Volpe, dude. He's the
Okay.
guy who I've been looking at, and I think a lot of people think I hate him. Obviously, I don't. I want to see the dude do well, and he obviously hasn't. And I'm looking at the month of June, and I genuinely think, bro, if we're looking at July 1st and Anthony Volpe's like still batting 190 and he's not putting up great plate appearances, I seriously think you have to consider sending him down. I think maybe at some point, like if he's still not finding success at the major league level, you have to start pivoting and just seeing what the best for his future is at this point. And if going down to AAA, building up some confidence, dominating that level, and then bringing him back up, maybe by August, September, if all things go well, maybe that could be something that's good for him. But right now, it just seems to not be working. The defense hasn't looked as bad as it did like for that couple week period. I think it was in like middle of May or something.
Yeah.
But as far as the offense goes, it just feels like the at bats look so bad. He'll run into a pitch, hit like a solo home run. Everyone will like forget about the offensive struggles for a few days, and then like it's that same continuous cycle because like we have seen like the power from him. I think he has like 10 home runs or something this season. The stolen bases are obviously there, but he cannot get on base, and I think it's becoming a problem.
Yeah, I totally understand what you're saying. I'll say when you do see the homers and you do see like the flashes, that's reason to get excited. And almost in a rare case with him being a rookie top prospect, where it kind of is okay, I think, to forget about some of the struggles when he does show like those flashes of greatness. But with that said, something I'm starting to notice and would make sense if it turns to a problem as we get deeper in the year. He seems to be thinking a lot, like at the plate. Like there maybe the pressure is starting to get to him. And that's where this does kind of become an issue to where does he need to get sent down just to kind of like refine his stroke again in terms of just chilling at the plate.
Yeah, but
I'm not
which
there.
also, bro,
I'm not there
no,
yet though myself. Like I'm still like, I don't know if it was you I was talking to or maybe it was BBD, but like definitely give him the rest of this month and then kind of like I'm at like a month from now, reevaluate, maybe even at the All-Star break. But I totally get like what you're saying. Like it makes total valid sense. I'm
well,
just
yeah,
not exactly to that conclusion just yet. Like I wouldn't send him down tomorrow if that's like the question is. I would still wait another month.
I would give it until the end of June. But that's what I'm saying too. Like, I want to make this clear. Like, setting him down doesn't necessarily like give up on Anthony Volpe. You know what I mean? And, like, it's the same thing as in the playoffs last year. I think we brought up this topic before. It's like when I was suggesting moving Judge from leadoff. Like, it's not necessarily a bad thing. I think it's just like better in the long run. If sending Anthony Volpe down at AAA for a month and having him potentially rake down there and build that confidence back up, I think it's great for the longevity of his future.
I like that you brought that up too about like you send him down, then you call him back up in August. Like that to me is even
It's
makes
very
me a little
possible.
more open to it than yeah, like if you're even just for a month to get your swing back,
Bro, you send
maybe.
him
I
down
mean,
there July 1st and he rakes in July. Dude, you're calling him back up August 1st, especially if like Peraza comes up and he's not doing too hot. But then, dude, it creates a very interesting scenario if like you call up
very dude.
Peraza to replace Volpe. Peraza starts raking, Volpe's raking in AAA. Then you have an interesting situation on your hands.
Yeah. But also, I mean, dude, setting Volpe down, like talk about the confidence thing. Like, I don't know if maybe that would fuck with him too. Like, I think it would create a
Well,
pretty
yeah, but you can't have him
situation.
batting 180 at the major league level. You just can't.
Well, no, but also, I mean, I don't think we're at a point now where you would send him down. Like a month from now, I agree with you. I still
Yeah, but that's
anticipate
what we're
that.
looking at.
I still anticipate that he'll be fine by then.
He'll
Hope
need to get hot
pressure
in the next
scares me a
couple
little
of
bit
weeks.
though. Like he's starting to like calculate his at bats a little bit more, which is I
Yeah.
think part of why you're seeing the walk rate, why it's gone down. I mean, April, even when he had the low 200 batting average, like I think he had an OBP like in the 330s. Like he was walking, he was seeing pitches, and that's why he had stolen bases that were so high. I mean, even the stolen bases, he has one, I think, since May 13th. I read the other day, and why is that? Because he's just not getting on base.
Yeah.
The at bats are so much more just. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely something to keep an eye on. We'll see, dude.
Yeah.
See.
Uh Dan, topic number 4, I want to touch on one guy real quick that I think both of us have slowly been falling in love with.
Yes.
Josh freaking Donaldson. Came into the season. I know both of us were very open arms, willing to give him another chance. After the injury, I was kind of like, I don't know if we're ever even going to see Donaldson back in pinstripes. He said he was on the Jacoby Ellsbury timeline, allegedly, whatever. He's back now. He's playing pretty damn well. Offensively, his at-bats look good. I think he
They
already has
do.
like what, 3 home runs since coming back from the IL.
Four. Oh, since coming from that, yeah.
Yeah.
Four on the year.
His defense looks great. Sure, the batting average isn't there. I saw you posted the stats, and I'm gonna be
Scrolled
honest,
out.
bro. I think that it would have made more sense to leave the batting average because I think it's so impressive that even if the dude's batting like 180, basically like a lower average than Anthony Volpe, the fact that his OPS is what like 870 something, dude, it just goes to show like how hard he's hitting the ball and like how when he's making contact, bro, it's meaning something. So yeah, I'm super excited for just Josh Donaldson moving forward because I think I don't want to say the sky's the limit, but I definitely think that like we have the potential to see the best version of Josh Donaldson in Yankee pinstripes moving forward. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on it.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's totally plausible to me, on the optimistic side of things, totally plausible to assume like, yo, this dude may just had a down year. First year in New York. Now finally he's getting acclimated, feeling better. And like, especially the fact that the Yankees really kind of need him right now. Maybe he feels, I don't know, sense of purpose. He's rejuvenated the ballpark, and it certainly looks like a dude. You mentioned the at-bats. That to me is the big thing because, yeah, he's hitting the homers. The defense has looked phenomenal. One of the better plays I've seen this year that ground ball in the hole that he fielded and that long throw. That was
Yeah,
the
great.
defense, dude. Like, it's back. Like, he's just as good as he was last year, and that alone in itself has quite some value, right? But yeah, the at bats are looking good. He doesn't. Granted, it's only a week or like not even a week. Freaking hell, 4 games, 5 games. He doesn't look. He looks less of a guess hitter, although he still definitely is. But he looks less stupid doing it. He seemed like he was in for the most part on every pitch that he's seen. Like, he didn't. He doesn't look as fooled as he did last year. He seems a little bit more prepared. The stance looks back to how it was last year. Remember, he was a little more upright and
Yeah.
calm. It seems he's, I think, back to where he was, and the leg kick's still just as crazy. But shit, dude, yeah. I mean, why can't we get 2021 Josh Donaldson? I mean, that was only a couple years ago, and he had an 850 OPS, hit like, I think, 25 homers or something for the Twins. He's
I
got the
love
full
the
headed
energy
gray
too,
hair, dude.
bro.
Yeah, me too. It's like, bro, it
Yeah.
makes you think. It reminds you of art when we did get him, because I was excited at the time, and the clip's been out there. Like, when we got Donaldson, I was pumped up. It's Josh Donaldson. Like, what if we're getting that guy back? And like, it kind of reignites the excitement, and you're like, oh shit, because this dude is can be really good, but also when he is really good, he's kind of a badass motherfucker.
Yeah.
So those two together, like, and the good defense, like, I'm ready for him to like be good.
No, same. And I think it's very possible that we do see it soon. So,
Like,
and
I want
bro,
Donaldson in the lineup now. It's crazy. Like, I'm like,
yeah,
dude,
no,
I was like hyped up, bro, when ninth inning of game one of doubleheader when
when
Higgy
he
was
came in a
coming
pinch,
up.
yes.
Bro, and I was saying the commercial break, bro. I was like clenching my face. I was like, pinch it, Donaldson, pinch it, Donaldson. And then he does pinch it, and he had a good ass walk, and he looked good, and he like
Yeah.
had energy, dude. Like, ball four, it was a 3-2 count. Ball four, he like tosses the bat towards the dugout, all badass. Like, dude, give me that energy, bro. I love it.
Yeah, no, I'm on the Josh Donaldson bandwagon for sure. And I hope other Yankee fans are too. Like, I hope they're not just like still
Well, they all
hating him,
should
just
be. I mean, if
hating.
he helps you win, that's
Yeah.
all that matters. You
But
gotta
yeah,
love the guy.
Dan, before we wrap up the show today, tonight the Yankees start a 3-game series, bro. First series of the season against the Boston Red Sox. Kind of excited for it, but also at the same time, like, I'm viewing it as just a normal series because I'm gonna be honest, bro, not viewing the Yankees-Red Sox rivalry in the same way that I used to. It doesn't even feel like a rivalry anymore. Let me get your quick thoughts on it.
Yo, I think it does feel like a rivalry in terms of like I respect it, but not anything active. Like,
Yeah.
this isn't even a couple years ago, back to 2021, and no, I shouldn't say 18 because 18 definitely was legit, probably the closest like hatred the two teams have had since maybe like '04.
Yeah.
But even when the Red Sox have been good lately, it doesn't necessarily feel like we have that exact same rivalry, which I feel like that is kind of, push it down the list a little bit. But it almost is the same way like I go into watching like last weekend with Yankees Dodgers. Like, it's like respecting the history of it. And it's kind of like a celebration of baseball rather than like a celebration of like two teams going at it for a crazy race that also has players that actually genuinely hate each other like they did in the early 2000s. It's different than that. It's just like you respect the history. That's why going into it is. And also, it's going to be a packed crowd no matter what. The
Yeah.
fact that Judge is going to be there hurts it a little bit. Like, it's supposed to be like a superstar type thing. So I'm kind of like, for this series in particular, like, I'm not as yoked for it. But generally speaking, like, I still get really excited. But they're number 3 or 4 now compared to like it goes Houston, Toronto, Tampa for the 3 teams that I hate the most right now. Boston's 4.
Bro, also, I tweeted this out before that, like, I view the Guardians as a bigger rival than the Red Sox right now. And bro, people thought I was crazy for saying that. I think the Guardians, like, there's serious beef between the Yankees and Guardians, like, especially with the postseason stuff and the Naylor stuff and the Miles Straw stuff. Like, they're a bigger rival to us right now, currently, than the Red Sox are,
I
at
wouldn't
least
say
in
like
my eyes.
Rob, but like in terms of teams like we've had like beef with, yeah.
Yeah.
On the
Yeah.
Yankees end of things, I think they still respect the Red Sox rivalry more. Although, did you see what Nestor said today?
I did I don't
So
remember
he
word
pretty
for
much
word.
said what I think like we're both saying here. Like, the last couple years, it hasn't really felt the same. It's not to the level of like Tampa and
Yeah.
Toronto, which is a little. I mean, it does feel a little unnecessary, like poking the bear right before about to play for a 3-game set. And Nestor, you're on the IL with like a 5.5 ERA. So like we shouldn't be
It's a
talking
bad look.
about
Yeah.
not being as good as we had the last couple of years. So I don't know. It's where do you stand? Like, you're saying what, like Red Sox are 5 then? I assume your
Uh
top 3 is like the
Well,
same.
also, like, keep in mind, like, these standings change every year. You know what I mean? Like, as of right now, the Red Sox, as far as like my most hated teams, I don't know, bro. They're probably like 6. You know what I mean? Like,
Also, the
how can
problem
I
is there's
hate the
really not
Red
an
Sox right
identity of
now?
the Red Sox either. Like, at least
I
that's
know.
why at first when I was going to mention like even 2018, but no, I took it back because 18 you at least had like, if you were advertising a big Fox Saturday night matchup, Yankees Red Sox, you're talking two teams that are on pace to win over 100 games, and who were at the forefront of it? You had Aaron Judge and you had Mookie Betts.
Yeah.
There seem to be two identities with the team. You know what I'm saying? Like now, the Yankees obviously still have that. You know, when Judge is playing, even the rest of that, they have a representable team. The Red Sox, I mean, you have Devers, but he's never really been a big needle mover for me. Like, there's nobody really to hate.
No, Devers is in.
No, Devers is a great player. I'm not saying that, but he doesn't like. I guess so. I'll take that back. He definitely he has some spice to him, sure. But
he's the only one though.
I don't hate him. I was able to convince myself I hated Mookie Betts when he was with the Red Sox. I don't anymore, especially after seeing that interview with Judge. I thought it was phenomenal. I don't know if you saw it, the Mookie Betts Aaron Judge interview.
It was great. Yeah,
it was great. But like when Mookie was on the Red Sox, like I could easily look at him as a villain. And you had Joe Kelly on that team, and then you had like the Tyler Austin incident, and the fact that they were going back and forth. Like,
remember Hanley Ramirez?
That was
the home run off Dellin. I think that was 2016.
Have we talked about this before, dude? Quick story. I kid you not. Relatively speaking, that was probably the worst day of my life. I'll never.
It was bad,
dude. No, for real. I remember this. At that point in 2016, it was like mid-September. Reminder, like early in 2016, the Yankees were pretty much done. Like we thought there was no playoff hopes. They released A-Rod. Texas is going to retire. Kids come up. They get back into it. All of a sudden, they're in a wild card race. They're like a game out of it. And I'm like pumped because I grew up in the Yankees making the playoffs, all this and that. And then they missed the playoffs. Team's not looking good. I finally start to cherish what it feels like to be in a race, and I'm pumped to be back. Anyways, Yankees are looking good. Tanaka, I think there was like 8 innings, like shut out with only like 90 pitches, whatever it is. I have school the next day. I don't know if it was on purpose or not. Long story short, I fell asleep. I think it was like 5-3 Yankees or some shit, or like 3-0 Yankees. I fall asleep thinking the Yankees are going to be like half a game out of the wild card, whatever, feeling great. I wake up, see the Hanley Ramirez news off Dellin Betances. I did not go to school that day, and my dad had no issue with it. I texted him saying I could not go. I literally cried on my couch. I kid you not. I'm not bullshitting you, Pat. I was crying on my couch over this Hanley Ramirez home run, and that was the homer that ended the 2016 Yankees. That was it. It was horrible.
Bro, I feel like if you want to test a Yankee fan's like true fandom, you bring up that home run because like only like a true Yankee fan will understand the pain of that Hanley Ramirez. That was terrible.
But that was terrible, dude. Hey, good show today, man.
Great show.
I enjoyed this one. It was another late nighter, which guess what? The next time I see you, we'll be recording in the AM. We are agreed on that. Yeah. I'll tell you, I love the AM recording so much. I mean,
I like both.
No, I do too. I like both.
Yeah.
My brain is so much more like the chemicals fire off better in the morning, I feel like, whereas now
I fire off better at night.
Fried, not fried, but like, well, all right, yo, socials, where can they find you, punk?
TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube at Unhinged Patrick, Instagram at True Hennessy.
You like that interview with the doctor, huh?
Loved it. Bro, I thought it was so unique.
You like how respectful I was too, calling him doctor and everything. I was like, make sure I came off the right way. I didn't want to think I was some punk kid.
Well, you are, but I mean, yeah.
I was thinking about it, bro. I was like, dude got 2 medical degrees to sit on a Zoom call with Dan Rourke.
You really made it.
But all right, yo, Dan and I work on Twitter, Dan and I work on Instagram, Yankees Avenue Instagram, Yankees Avenue here on YouTube. And yeah, Red Sox coming to town is pretty hype. Like, I'm excited for this series. So let's win this one, take 2 out of 3, maybe even sweep, who knows, but just get back on track. This team's still good enough to win plenty of games. Don't get it twisted. See you guys next time. Let's go Yanks. Her body's going like September. She burns through the night like an ember. And all those things we traffic